Welcome to the Fabulous Fifties and Beyond. I'm Jim Pollard, your co-host, with my wife Jeanetta, and today our guest is Thresa Wing of Thresa Wing's Retreat. We're going to be talking about what's all this talk about healthy chocolate. You stay tuned and we'll be right back.
And he'd say, go with what you got. Start from where you are. Give it your best shot. Keep reaching for that star. Get in the race, keep your own pace, keep moving and never stop. Just go, go with what you got.
I'm Jim Pollard, your co-host, with my wife Jeanetta. Our guest today is Thresa Wing. Thresa is from Thresa Wing's Retreat. She's a certified natural healer, and we're going to talk about healthy chocolate. And I know that seems like a misdemeanor type of word or some kind of mixed up thing, but over the past few years there's been a lot of talk about healthy chocolate. I think some of the things that we want to try to clear up is what is healthy chocolate and what is not healthy chocolate. And so that's some of the things that we want to talk about today. Thresa, it's good to have you on our show today. And I think one of the things that we would need to start out with is just what is healthy chocolate.
One thing I wanted to clear up, it's not a misdemeanor to eat chocolate.
No, okay.
That's what
it seems like
a misnomer is the word I was searching
an
for.
oxymoron or something.
Yeah, oxymoron. Okay.
I just want to know when it rhymes.
Yeah. Well, when you're looking for healthy chocolate with the company that I'm with, it's got 70% of the dark cocoa in it. And there's no waxes, no fillers, no preservatives. It's low glycemic. So you really want to look for something that's really healthy and doesn't have all the other stuff in it. And once you eat this chocolate, you go back to eating the other and you can actually feel the wax on the roof of your mouth. That's what I found.
Well, I was reading an article from Mayo Clinic, I guess it was, the other day, and that was one of the things that they talked about. It needed to have that 70% on it. And it's 70% what now?
Dark chocolate.
70% dark chocolate.
Right.
And they said that was one that it really has to have that to where it has, and I hesitate to say this because we're not doctors, but any medicinal values. But
right.
But they say, and this comes from Mayo Clinic, that it has to have that, it should have that 70% on it. And then there's this other number that they talk about, the 3120 plus. And what does that have to deal with?
Well, that's the ORAC. It tells you what the antioxidant level is in something that can get rid of free radicals in the body. And so you need something that has the 70% in it and that is very minimally processed. And so a lot of the chocolate that we have here, some of it is raw, in that raw form. And so you're getting all of the nutrition that it was created to give us, you know, in each one of these. And there are some things that if you look for the ORAC, today, if you look at a bottle of vitamins or whatever, it might say what the ORAC is, or a bottle of juice. There might be saying for the whole bottle, where this company, the ORAC of 3,120 is per nugget, where this one here is 8,000 antioxidants, or the ORAC, and that's on per bar. And so you need to look at the content of what the ORAC really is in the content, which is what gets rid of free radicals, which get rid of inflammation and all the other disease states that we're finding here in the country.
And that's what that's what I mean. Just like this last week, a report came out from Germany, where there'd been a blind study over there of how that it was actually believed to reduce blood pressure.
Yes.
And I read one article that says eat 3 ounces a day and lower your blood pressure. Right. And which is what, 3 nuggets, I guess. A nugget's an ounce.
If I can use me as an example, because I don't want to make any medical statements, but last year we had brought in about 110 bales of hay, and on about the 110th bale something popped in my elbow. And so for several months I had pain in that elbow. I started eating the chocolate, and I love the nuggets because it's the closest thing to me like a candy bar. Because there's a liquid and then there's a protein bar. It's got real high protein, which is an actual meal replacement. But when I started eating the nuggets, I could kind of like within 30 minutes feel the pain just kind of melting away. And all of a sudden I got the bright idea, why don't I eat 2 nuggets a day? And it stayed away a little bit longer. And then when I went to 3 nuggets a day in January, the pain went away and it never came back in my knees and elbows. So for me, that was the level of antioxidants that I needed, was about 9,000 a day to keep it away. But the side effect of it is that I've lost about 10 pounds of weight and have kept that off and haven't changed my eating. And so that's one of the side effects, is weight loss.
Go ahead. I have I have looked at antioxidants for years because I know that two terms that I've tried to understand is antioxidants and free radicals. And they're terms that I think I understand what they do. I just don't know how to explain it because it's something that has to do with the oxygen in your body.
Right. Well, free radicals, if you think about a piece of steel outside in the yard and the rain hits it and the air and the oxygen hits it, it rusts. So that's creating free radicals on that piece of steel. Same thing goes on in the body. If we don't have oxygen, and I'm going to use smoking as an example because to me, any time that you smoke and you inhale smoke, you're taking more oxygen out of your body. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And so if there's some sort of a disease state in the body, it's really a starvation for oxygen. And so by eating things that are high in antioxidants, it mops up the free radicals and gets rid of the free radicals in the body so that we don't age. It slows the process down.
So it's taking the free radicals out where the oxygen is in a greater percentage where it does its work.
Right.
Okay.
So that there's almost like cellular communication. If you can clean up, if there's things that are attached to the cells, say we got the cells are round and you have these little particles that come off the cells, the more toxins and pollution and thing that we have, the more of these look like little hairs or little trees that are on the cells, the more that they're damaged. And so when you have the free radicals or a virus comes in and hits that cell, it can attach. Where if you have these little hairy things that are supposed to be on the cells, the more of those that are there and the more healthy we are, the body can send in the killer cells before they are attached to the cells. You follow me?
I do, because I understand this principle of killer cells, that our body, and that's actually where, and correct me if I'm wrong, that's where pulse comes from, that's where swelling comes from. It's when the body is attacking the problem.
Right.
And that's the reason sometimes they say that a fever is not a bad thing.
Correct, yeah. It sometimes has to eat things up.
And that's hard for us to understand. You get a fever, the first thing you want to do is kill it, get rid of the fever.
Right.
But it's your body function doing its job, isn't it?
Might be better to get a blanket and make yourself a little bit warmer if you can. You don't want to get it too hot. But.
Yeah. So, we get kind of highly technical there, but it's stuff that you hear a lot about today,
Right. And if you think about it, going back to the free radicals, if you think about a potato or an apple, it's sitting here and it looks red and it's beautiful. As soon as you cut it in half and leave it there for a few minutes, that potato starts to turn brown, and so does the apple. So there's the free radicals. The oxygen in the air has hit it and creating free radicals. And deteriorating that, and it deteriorates rather rapidly. Yeah. And so if you dipped it in lemon juice, it would stop it, because that has a high. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's the reason you put lemon juice in different things.
And this is why we should not leave food and things sitting out, right? Because it does attract germs and whatever's in the air.
Right.
Well, now citric acid will work primarily in the same way too. That's the reason we talk about vitamin C a lot.
Vitamin C, yeah.
Because I know when we were canning one time, what were we using the vitamin C on?
Peaches will turn dark if you're not careful, but if you use that vitamin C, it keeps them from turning dark, doesn't it? Yeah, when you're canning, whether you're canning or freezing.
Which years ago they would have probably said that was an antioxidant. But that's what we would say today, is that helps to create the antioxidants, slow down the aging process of the peaches, so that we can can them.
So it helps slow down our aging process in our body. Very good.
That's what aren't we all looking for that?
Yes.
At my age I am, and I know at your age you are.
And I know at my age I am.
But that's, and that's our show, we believe, aims at that group, people 50 and older, and there are a lot of people looking for ways to slow down aging. You can't stop it. I mean, I don't think you can stop it. They haven't figured that out yet, but I think slowing it down is the big thing that we need to look at.
Well, it's not slowing down age, but it's having a better lifestyle. I mean, who wants to live to be 80 if you're not healthy?
Absolutely.
So it's so important as we live longer that we learn to take care of ourselves and do the things that would help us to live healthy.
Right.
We and I know that we talk about, we started talking about dark chocolate, and I think that we probably need to understand the difference in between dark chocolate and what the most common chocolates are today, called milk chocolate, because that's one that the doctors have always said don't eat too much of. I mean, that was the thing when they first talked about chocolate being healthy for you, everybody says, wonderful, now I can eat all the chocolate I want. They weren't talking about milk chocolate, were they?
No, they weren't. The dark chocolate is, you want to get back to basics in all aspects of our life, you know, to help reverse or stop aging as much as we can. I know I feel better in my 50s than I did in my 30s, and it's because of this journey that I've had of trying to get my health back, because I used to sleep 16 hours a day. And so now with the chocolate, I'm sleeping better and sleeping deeper. But the dark chocolate, they're finding the darker the better, because there's less things in it. With this chocolate, they're sweetening it with the acai berry, which is from the rainforest, and blueberries, which are very high in antioxidants also. And so if you're going to compare apples to apples, we want to compare the chocolate that has milk chocolate has milk, and it has preservatives and sugar and all these other things. This has a low glycemic, it's has a little raw sugar in it, but not much sugar because of the berries that are in it. And one of the bars we have has flax seeds in it. So they're really looking at making truly heart-healthy chocolate. And we're going to have a symbol shortly that will have a heart-healthy symbol on it. So we're excited about that.
Talking about the bar with the flax in it, a few years ago, flax was big in the health news. It made itself up for your heart and other things, and that's one of the things. And I got to say that this bar is, I love orange, and the flax has no taste to it, but that's a good bar there, I got to tell you.
Yeah, the flax, the mega bar is what we call this, and this really is 3 servings that you're supposed to break it up and eat, 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, 1 in the evening. That's sometimes difficult, but it has orange in it, orange peel or orange bits, and it actually has orange oil in it, essential oil of orange.
Oh, that's where the good orange taste comes from, is the oil, I guess.
Is the oil. And if people would realize orange brings joy. If you looked in a desk reference for essential oils, it would tell you the properties of oil. There's a lot of wonderful medicinal properties, but what it does emotionally is bring joy.
And of course, orange is vitamin C again.
Yes.
when you talk about it. And I've been a big C taker all my life, especially, wintertime. Everybody should be taking vitamin C because of the preventative of colds and everything.
Right.
All right. We're halfway through, believe it or not, and we need to take a break.
Okay.
And so we're going to ask you to stay tuned, and we're going to take a break here, and we'll be back in just a few minutes.
America's veterans have come from all walks of life and every corner of the nation to bravely serve in protecting our way of life. It is the privilege of VA to return that service with the excellent health care that our veterans have earned. And it is the nurses of VA, men and women of all backgrounds, who help to make that quality health care possible by providing a vital service to the community, by sharing ideas in a supportive, professional environment, by giving the best of themselves every day, and by advancing to the top of their field. But most of all, by providing excellent and direct care to every one of their patients.
We are the nurses of VA.
VA Nursing, a career in caring. For more information, contact vacareers.com.
Higher education begins here.
At West Kentucky Community and Technical College, there are lots of reasons education begins here. Reason number 8, healthcare programs. Careers include sonography, respiratory care, medical assisting, surgical technology, and radiography. In as little as 2 years, you can be well on your way to a career in the healthcare field. Need more reasons to begin here? Call 534-3264.
And he'd say, go with what you got. Start from where you are. Give it your best shot. Keep reaching for that star. Get in the race. Keep your own pace. Keep moving and never stop. Just go. Go with what you got.
I'm Jim Pollard with my wife Jeanetta, and our special guest today is Thresa Wing, and she is from Thresa Wing's retreat, and she is a certified natural healer. I can never get those words straightened out. But today we're talking about healthy chocolate and what makes it healthy. I thought it was interesting because I guess it was about 3 years ago, I guess, when I started noticing, but the bulk of the information started rolling out about 3 years ago about healthy chocolate. And they tell you the healthy chocolate is the dark chocolate. So you didn't see much of it at that time. You know, you had your Hershey's dark chocolate bar and a few items like that. But now you can go through some of the stores and you can see a whole rack of dark chocolate. And just some of the different things that they have. I didn't know until I started researching chocolates that they put wax in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to make it shiny.
To make it shiny, and that was pretty interesting. That it's just plain wax they put in it to make it shiny. And you come to find out if you study different foods, they do a lot of things to food to make it, give it the appearance. I mean, like the food coloring that they put in a lot of things.
And all the preservatives. I think that's one reason why our health is what it is, because of so much of the stuff being put in our food that we don't need, and it's not good for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, the one thing that we talk about is white flour. They have bleach in it because they bleach it white, right?
Right.
And that's another thing that we talk about. Who would think about taking a glass of bleach and drinking it?
Nobody.
But we get it in our.
We certainly hope not.
And in our drinking water and
all the different
I know
things
that we do.
I know.
Yeah.
I cannot drink processed water is what I call it anymore.
Yeah. I grew up in a town where there was a chemical company. And so I've had a lot of health issues because of that.
Yeah.
We won't mention the name, but anyway. But one of the things, there's been a lot, you talked about Mayo Clinic, there's been a lot of research done, and this magazine here came out in January, and it's called Breakthroughs in Health, and it's all research and studies that have been done about dark chocolate. And it talks about the cardiovascular benefits and why. It talks about the nutritional properties that are in the dark cocoa and why. And Montezuma knew how great the dark chocolate was. He used it for his troops. He knew that they could march all day having this, they called it cacao, drink, and that they could march all day and their focus was clear, and it was just pretty amazing.
By the way, if they go to the website that our director will put up on the screen, you can be sure that they get a copy of this, can't we?
Yeah, we can get a copy out to people.
They can go to that website and put in their information or contact you and through that website, and we can be able to make sure that they get a copy of this, because it is an interesting book. Actually has a CD in it about chocolate also, about the different things that, and it's healthy chocolate in general. I mean, it's what it talks about and what it can do for you, and it's quite informative about the work and the things that it can do. The name of the company that you represent is SoCal, right?
Well, the name of the company is MXI, which means Marketing Chocolate International. Chocolate with an X, because during the times of Montezuma, they had a special drink that was called chocolat, which was chocolate, and it had some cayenne in it and some other things that made it so healthy. And that's what they've tried to go back to that basis with our active, and to make that healthy drink for people.
And it comes in liquid?
Comes in liquid, comes in nuggets.
Bar and a protein bar. Okay, and so that's something that, and all that information they can find on the website. So that's interesting. You've got a brochure there with 22 reasons.
Yes, why to eat and drink dark chocolate with the acai berry, as to how important it is. You want me to review a few of those?
Go review some of them there.
Yeah. The first is that it's more nutritious than other chocolates because it doesn't have all the preservatives, and it's, in many cases, it has some raw cacao in it, and the blueberries and things like this one here comes powdered, and so you have to add water to it to bring it to life per se, and you have to let it sit for 36 to 40 hours so that it really absorbs into that dried process. So there's no preservatives because it's raw.
Yeah.
So there's most other chocolates you don't ever see that with that. So it's more nutritious. It contains fiber, which helps with the bowels, and it helps to balance cholesterol. It helps to contribute to weight loss, and the way that it helps with weight loss is if you have a nugget or a little piece of the chocolate about 15 minutes before a meal, it really cuts your appetite, and so you're eating less and you're getting more nutrition.
Well, let me ask you a question. How many calories does this have?
I think it has 70, Jim. Let me check for you. I'll tell you, it's right on here. The total calories is 70 per nugget on that one.
Well, that's not bad, because you know, you've heard the story about the guy that started drinking the protein drinks to lose weight. And after a week of it, he'd gained 20 pounds, and he went back to the person that sold them to him. He says, I can't understand. he said, I do exactly what it says I drink it 15 minutes before supper and then eat my meal.
Oh.
You're supposed to do it instead of the meal.
It was a meal replacement. Yeah, this is supposed to be before. Now, the liquid, which you drink an ounce of it, is 40 calories, and it's 0 fat.
Oh,
so
really?
for Weight Watchers, this is 0 points. The founder of the company, Jeanette Brooks, has lost 125 pounds. She was on 125 units of insulin. She's now down to 10 units, I think, of insulin.
Yeah.
And I did bring my paperwork on that.
Yeah.
But it's really been dramatic for her. And she does a variety of everything. Like this is an actual meal replacement, and it has 10 grams of protein. It's like a brownie bar. And so there's different things for different people and different tastes. And each one tastes a little bit different. Like this one has the orange in it that we talked about. This doesn't. This is the closest to a chocolate bar that we would have had as children. You know, the taste of it.
You know,
dark chocolate.
people were so excited when they started hearing that chocolate was good for you because
Yes.
I know he was talking to this lady from Florida the other day. She said, "You mean chocolate is healthy? It's good for you?" I mean, people just,
One of the things is that it creates tryptophan and serotonin in the brain, which all give you the bliss, it's not a hormone, the bliss factor of feeling like everything is wonderful. I know somebody who's been on antidepressants for 5 years, and she's now off the antidepressants because of eating the chocolate. What a terrible thing. Chocolate 3 times a day, you feel better, you lose weight. I mean, it's just like, isn't that sad? There we go back to that. Oxymoron. Yeah. So the other thing is it helps with weight loss. It's chock full of antioxidants. This particular company is. That's why I love it. It helps to build cells. It reduces blood pressure. And so a lot of people that are on blood pressure medicine, they can go back to their doctor and check it and see if they can reduce their blood pressure.
Well, that's what
medicine.
this report that came out last week was talking about, because it was from Germany, and about how that they had gone through the study and how it had actually lowered some of the blood pressure. It's kind of like, I like the Cheerios commercials that they have on TV. I think the cutest one is the father who's eating and his son asks him what he's doing. He says he's eating healthy because it makes his heart better. And then he goes, later on in the day, he goes to pay for something and reaches in and pulls out his change full of Cheerios. And the guy says, "What's this?" He said, "Oh, that's a family thing." The kid had filled his pockets full of Cheerios.
The kid wanted
make him
his dad
healthy.
He wanted his dad to be healthy.
That's right.
But one thing we do want to make sure people understand that you don't change anything without talking to your doctor. You do not get off of blood pressure medicine or anything unless you consult your doctor.
Cholesterol medicine, nothing.
Nothing.
You know, and they've found that this really helps to reduce cholesterol. It's amazing all the things that they've found that it does. It cleanses and detoxifies. It helps with the cells. It's really good for the memory. They're doing some studies with Alzheimer's, and they're finding that it's really helping with the memory and building the brain cells and things.
And I don't know of anybody who wouldn't be thrilled with that,
Yes.
especially the older that you get.
Don't we all say we have a senior moment when we...
Yes.
Yes.
And it helps to strengthen the heart, and it helps with decreasing any formation of blood clots and things like that. So there's just, and it boosts the sense of well-being, which is what I was talking about with our friend that's off the antidepressants.
Chocolate always boosts the sense of well-being.
Yeah, what a thing. That was when I finally realized that the pain in my elbows and knees went away. It's like, oh, isn't this sad? I have to eat this 3 times a day to make it go away. But that's some of the things that it does.
Well, you know, there's a lot of information available, and that's what we can actually, you know, if you just go in and to Google and type up healthy chocolate, you're going to get article after article after article that talks about the benefits of dark chocolate. It's amazing. I forgot how many hundreds of thousands I got when I typed it in yesterday of hits and articles about healthy chocolate and the dark chocolate. And it is the dark chocolate.
Yes, it is. Yeah, and that's what we found. If you you Google dark chocolate antioxidants, you'll get all the history of the Mayans and the Aztecs and things, and what the chocolate that they used.
And that's what we want our people to do, is to become informed about what's out there and what's good for them and how it can help them. And that's the reason that they need to look at the different aspects of what dark chocolate can do for them, and the different ways that it can help them. You had another brochure that had some things on it over there too that were pretty interesting too. The one that's folded out right there.
This one here?
Yeah.
Now this, if somebody called or got in and said that they wanted information, this is one of the brochures we'd send out, and it talks about the ORAC, it talks about the reasons to eat it, and it's kind of some of the things: reduces inflammation, helps to fight cancer. It's diabetic friendly because of the low glycemic. It's caffeine free. It helps to build the cells, improves the insulin level, and strengthens the memory, boosts the sense of well-being. So some of the same information was just on this one too.
Well, we're about out of time again, believe it or not, and we're so glad that you came and shared this with us today. And we want our people to know that part of what we're trying to do is just provide different aspects of health for you. And Google it. Go to the website that's on there and see what healthy chocolate can do for you. And I mean, what better way to be healthy than to eat chocolate? So remember that. And like I say, we appreciate you being here. There is an 800 number that's up on the screen also, where you can call and get in touch with Thresa, and she can give you more information and be glad to help you.
We do chocolate parties too.
And they do chocolate parties too. What kind of party is a chocolate party other than eating chocolate?
Yep.
But we want to encourage you to do that, and we want to encourage you to be watching our shows. We'll have more interesting and exciting shows available for you every week. And we also want you to know that you can go to the internet and see this show, find the schedule. You go to paducah2.org, and there you'll find our schedules, and you can also, like I said, if you have fast internet service, you can watch the show there. So remember now, you can also go to www.thefabulousfifties.net and see our website there. We just want to encourage you to take advantage of all this technology out there, and encourage you to come back and be with us every week. Jeanetta, give them our address.
P.O. Box 7, Bowes, Kentucky 42027.
And if you want to, you can write us there and get information also. All right, remember now, use it or lose it.
Can't see as well as I used to. Can't run as far or as fast. Sometimes I think that the old me is becoming exactly that. But when I start thinking of all I don't have, that's when I tell poor me Beethoven was 50 and deaf as a post when he wrote